Barcelona's revolution within the squad. Two major stars find themselves victims of names considered less prominent than them. Meanwhile, 4 players have been given a final opportunity to become the cornerstone of the future rebuild. And there are also 3 other names who are now completely out of the plans. In this video, we will reveal who the victims are, who has been sidelined, and who has been fortunate enough to receive one last chance. Players who have become victims of others. Marc Casado, playing well, yet sitting out. Casado's story is not about his level, it is about timing. He was promoted to the first team by decision of Xavi. He waited a long time before making his appearance. Then, under Flick, everything changed. At the start of the season, an indispensable figure for several months. His role was clear, a player who balances the midfield, receives the ball under pressure, passes quickly, and closes spaces after losing possession. But De Jong's return reshuffled the order. The same position, stronger competition, and so Casado moved to the bench. Inside Barcelona, there are no reservations about him. The issue is not performance, it is the congestion in midfield. Flick uses him as an example of commitment. He comes on for limited minutes, yet maintains the same rhythm. He does not slow the play, nor does he alter the team's structure. And yet, he is not untouchable. The equation is simple. When the quality in one position is high, someone will sit out. And Casado is a victim of competition, not of performance. Rooney Bargji. Few minutes and heavy pressure. Rooney is living through a difficult season. His role has clearly diminished under Flick. This is not the first time, but the timing is critical. The fixture pressure is increasing. Out of 12 matches, he has featured in only 5, 160 minutes out of 500. The last 6 matches, a marginal presence, 10 minutes against Oviedo and Mallorca, and the rest of the time on the bench. The problem is not performance, it is competition. Lamine Yamal controls the same position. No rest, even in cup matches against lower-ranked sides. Rooney understands the situation well. Continuity is almost impossible. Even so, he has not complained publicly. He maintains his professionalism. Flick consistently acknowledges him. The praise is there, the quality is evident, but the equation is clear. The role is limited, and the opportunity depends solely on circumstances. So a player who is ready, yet time is not on his side. Players at the core of the project, Koundé and Balde. Koundé is no longer the same player. Last season, he consistently added attacking width and advanced with confidence. Now his presence is less effective going forward and weaker defensively as well. The same position, but a different impact. On the other side, concern is repeating itself with Balde. Against Atletico, the defensive transitions were slow. His positioning was delayed. In individual duels, the intensity was insufficient. The signs point more to a moment of lost confidence than to a lack of ability. And yet the club does not question his future. He is viewed as a long-term project on the left flank, but expectations are higher than his current level. For that reason, the coaching staff's focus is clear, to restore the best version of both players. Because what happened at the Metropolitano was not a minor detail. The fullback's mistakes there directly affected the team's overall structure. Gerard Martin. Milan are watching, Barcelona are holding firm. Gerard Martin did not establish himself through a single match, but through a new role. Under Hansi Flick, his position changed. He began as a left back, then he shifted to center back. When Barcelona build from the back, they need a defender capable of advancing with the ball, not merely clearing it. For that reason, he has become a trusted player for the coach. Milan see a player who can be developed this summer. That is why they are monitoring him, along with Victor Valdepeñas from Real Madrid. But within Barcelona, the equation is different. His importance is tactical before it is numerical. Flick does not have another defender who combines 2 positions with the same fluidity. Therefore, despite the interest, the most likely outcome is clear. Barcelona will reject the offers because Martin is no longer a backup option, but part of the team's structural foundation. Ronald Araujo. Flick is observing the training sessions, and the focus is on one name, Araujo. The coach is satisfied with his recent physical condition, not simply because he has returned, but because his characteristics are different. Barcelona dominate possession, but in the biggest matches, the issue is not possession. It is duels. That is where Araujo's role becomes evident. Physical strength, superiority in one-to-one battles, and the ability to stop direct attacks, not merely delay them. For that reason, Flick's plan is clear. He will not start immediately. He will be integrated gradually, limited minutes at first, then an increase in intensity until he is ready for matches against the most physically demanding sides. The idea is not to rest him, but to manage the timing of his return. Flick does not need him in every match, but in the matches where Barcelona's defense is truly tested, and when those encounters begin, Araujo will return to the starting lineup. Players out of the plans. Robert Lewandowski. The player is not negotiating at the moment. He is waiting. After 4 successful years with Barcelona, his contract expires next summer. For that reason, he has not announced his position. No rejection, no agreement, only a calculated delay until the end of the season. But outside Catalonia, there are movements. Chicago Fire want to make him the face of their project. The club is attempting to convince the player and his family to move to the American League. It is not merely a sporting offer, but a long-term project, including the opening of a new stadium in 2028. Even so, the player's preference is clear: to continue at Barcelona. However, the issue is administrative. The decision is linked to the club's upcoming elections. The next board will determine the shape of the squad and therefore define his future. For that reason, he is postponing the final decision, because he wants to understand the environment in which he would continue. Marcus Rashford. The player speaks about staying, but England speaks about a return. At Barcelona, the picture on the pitch is clear. Hansi Flick has given him a direct role, a forward who operates along the flank, cutting inside at the final moment. The numbers confirm it: 10 goals and 13 assists in 34 matches. But away from the pitch, the real story begins. The permanent purchase clause is not financially simple, and Barcelona do not have complete freedom to make the decision. Here, a different name enters the scene. René Marlenstein believes that the appointment of Michael Carrick could change everything. Carrick has known Rashford since the academy, a son of the club, a player connected to the environment before the system. At Barcelona, Rashford is a successful project. At Manchester United, he could become a restoration project. Now the equation is clear: a player's desire versus financial conditions versus a coach who knows him well. And the question is not only where will Rashford play, but rather what will decide first: the contract or the relationship.